So we're standing in the foyer of the church once again, the one that we're staying at. Beautiful, magnificent church. But you know what? Sometimes we never know the history and what it actually takes to get a church like this. And starting over here, this happened in 2003. This church was burnt to the ground. Think about it. This was what was left of the flag. This was the building that burnt down. And here is a beautiful poem written by the firemen of this city that came and helped to fight the fire. But out of this came all of this today. So friends, just hang on. Sometimes we don't know what God is doing today. Sometimes it looks like everything is going wrong. Sometimes it looks like our dreams are going up in flames. Or when I say dreams, the things that God has for us, the plans that God has for us, the things that we're hoping for. But just remember, out of the flames of the fire, out of the trial, out of the things that are sent maybe to destroy and to discourage us, God knows how to bring something beautiful. And yes, the church building is the people are the church. The church building is just something we worship in. But in a community like this, the church building stands proud in the right sense, demonstrating the power and the glory of God. So be encouraged. Whatever you're going through today, it's not the end of the road. Let's have a quick look at a little bit more about Pentecost every day. So now I'm shrunk down into the corner. Let's just continue to look at our days of prayer and fasting and Pentecost every day. And one of those elements was disciples every day. It is so important as we think about Acts 2:42, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread and in prayers. Continued steadfastly. Now the things listed there are very important, but that word continue is actually important as well, because continue is used several times in the Bible. And here in Acts 2 and verse 46, it says, and they continued daily with one accord in the temple and breaking of bread from house to house. In Acts chapter 1 and verse 14, these all continued with one accord in prayer and supplication in chapter 6 of Acts. But we will give ourselves continually. It's a state of dedication. It's not just a visit and then leave. Romans 12:12, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Colossians 4:2, continue in prayer and watch in some thanksgiving. Ephesians 6 and 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication. The same verse, the same words there, meaning continue. It is important that as we look at making disciples every day, as a part of Pentecost every day, that we continue. It's a continual state of making, every time we sit down, every time we're with someone, it's a lifestyle. It's like Jesus said to the disciples, come and walk with me, learn from me, watch me, listen to me as I speak, and just be a part. And so as we make disciples, we are not Jesus, but we are Jesus' hands and feet, a kind of thing on earth. So it's important that we have people with us, that we mix. It's not about just what we teach over a pulpit or teach in a classroom or preach in a church. It's more the everyday activity. And so it's important that we understand these two words. We must understand the meaning of the word disciple and disciple. So what is the meaning of disciple, first of all? And so biblically, the word disciple refers to a learner, a follower, not somebody that just comes and listens, but somebody that is learning and following, an apprentice, if you like, who is committed to learning from and imitating the disciple maker. Jesus's definition of a disciple is summarized in John chapter 8, verse 31 to 32. Jesus said to those Jews who believed him, "If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So a disciple, what is a disciple like? Let's have a quick look this morning. A disciple is someone that regularly and purposely learns from Jesus and grows in Christ. You may want to pause this and just read the points here. A person who ties their will together with God's will, my will and his will. I have to get rid of my personal will and tie in with God's will, discovering their identity and purpose by learning of him and from him as they share the same road alongside of him. A disciple is a committed learner, a committed follower, much more than just a classroom learner or a listener, but a follower of Jesus. It's someone who sticks to the teachings of Jesus. The followers of Jesus were called disciples long before they were called Christians. And so a genuine, true believer, the New Testament means being a Christian with being a disciple. It's really the same thing. We cannot say I'm a Christian if I'm not a disciple. And the requirements of being a disciple means to actually really change and follow the one that we are being discipled by, which is Jesus Christ. Christian is mentioned 3 times in the New Testament. Disciple is mentioned over 260 times. Check out the book of Acts. The word disciple is the most common term used to describe what we call Christians. And so following spiritual leadership will also be a thing that is a part of a disciple in their life. But also, they will have, in not too long a time, they will become a disciple maker. And so you can know a disciple not by so much looking at what they are doing as such, but if you ask one simple question, ask someone, who is your disciple, or who are you discipling? Who is following you? Who are you teaching? Who are you training? If there is no one, then that person themselves has not yet become a disciple. So if we don't have someone that we are encouraging, someone that we are training, someone that we are pushing forward, then the question becomes, are we really a disciple? Let's be a disciple today, and let's find and begin to work with someone, if you're not, that is, you can help draw closer to Jesus. We'll continue this tomorrow.